Here's to feeling good all the time.
My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
Hey, you know what would make a great coffee table book? A coffee table book about coffee tables.
I don't have a square to spare. I can't spare a square.
But I don't want to be a pirate!
Hello, and welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. My name is Vinnie.
My name's Matt.
How you doing? Great to be here.
That's next week.
Also,
Damn it.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you too.
Was it a good one?
Yeah, it was all right. I visited my parents for...
Were you between the moon and New York City?
Yes, I was between the moon and West Lafayette, Indiana. What did you do for New Year's?
I had a show in D.C.
What kind of show?
A rock show.
What kind of rock show? All right.
90s cover rock show.
Oh, very cool.
And we were playing. I can never pronounce the name of the song. What's the New Year's song? Auld. A-U-L-D.
Hey you L-D?
No.
Is that from Curb?
Help me.
Hey you L-D.
I need help here. Old Lang Syne. If that's how you pronounce it.
Old Lang Seinfeld.
At a bar. Okay.
Sorry.
See you later, everybody. We played that at midnight, and people kissed.
Oh.
It was fun. I had a nice time.
Nice. Did you
No.
hook your arm around someone and plant a kiss on him?
No, I did not. I planted one. No, I was behind a drum kit, so it's hard for anybody to get back there and penetrate that fortress I secured.
Oh, God.
I think I'm out.
Yeah. Well, that sounds nice. I wish I could have been there to watch you play.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I don't. What the hell? Well, let's get into a little bit of Seinfeld news this week.
Hey, I got news for you.
Great news. All right, I got news. You ready?
Now, Vinny, last week we were talking about the season 7 premiere of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. First episode being Barack Obama. I gave you an assignment. Hey, let's watch it and talk about it this week. Did you watch it?
Nope.
Maybe if it was Donald Trump, you would have watched it, right?
Oh, do not put that out there. I'm not a Trump supporter. What an ass you are.
I know, I'm just kidding.
The only thing I like is Trump impressions.
Yeah.
It's solid gold.
Well, I did watch the episode, and I just wanted to give a brief overview. That's my overview.
Sure.
First up, love the episode. I think it's one of the best from the Comedians in Cars run. You could tell that the president and Jerry had a lot of fun, I think, working together. Did you see that image of Jerry knocking on the window?
That I saw.
Yeah, of the Oval Office. It was really cute. But yeah, they had some great conversations, and there was almost this was by design, almost a Jerry George or Jerry Larry dynamic going on between the two of them as they're just kind of strolling around the grounds and the interior of the White House, just talking about whatever. And I'm really looking forward to next week's episode, which is Steve Martin.
Ooh,
yeah, that should be a good one. But I wanted to talk about something else, and this is kind of a bitch fest. But I have a real problem with Crackle and just the Comedians in Cars program. I watch it on my TV through a PS3, and I've never had any problems with Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon on my PS3. But Crackle, I have to say, is one of the worst, maybe the worst interface I've ever used.
Okay.
Not only that, but it buffers all the time. It's really pixelated. There are these commercials in the beginning and end that you can't, not only can you not pause them, but you can't exit out of them. So you're forced to watch this commercial no matter what. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever had an issue with it or if you've used Crackle enough to get annoyed like I am, but
I only watch it on my phone, so I haven't had issues yet.
Yeah, I think computers and mobile devices are the best way to watch Crackle. Maybe it's the PS3. I don't know if anyone else out there has had issues with the interface, but it's just terrible image quality and just really difficult to use on my end.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Anyways, I just always think there's going to be a different experience when I use Crackle to watch Comedians in Cars, but every time it's just really disappointing. Oh, one other thing. I can't even fast forward or rewind. I can only jump forward or back 1 minute.
Really? Oh, God.
So if I wanted to watch something just 10 seconds before, I gotta sit through 55 seconds.
Gotta relive it.
Yeah.
What was the runtime of the Barack episode?
It said 19 minutes, but about halfway through, I paused it, and it said like 181 minutes out of 19 minutes.
Okay.
So I might be having like some kind of like software issue with my PS3, but yeah, just acting really weird lately. But yeah, I mean, other than just those minor gripes, it was a great episode, and yeah, really looking forward to next week's with Steve Martin. So let's move over to Australia. A bar opened in Melbourne called George's Bar, and I'm sure a lot of you saw this story trending over the holidays. It just blew up online. This bar centers all around George Costanza, which really piqued my interest when I heard that, because we don't really have many, if any, restaurants or bars in the States centering around Seinfeld.
There's that one in Yakima, right?
Tacoma.
Oh, okay.
Tacoma, Washington, yeah, called Little Jerry's, which I feel like we have to get to at some point.
Duh.
In our lifetime. But
I'm ashamed of you. You went to Seattle for a wedding and you didn't stop there.
I didn't even know about it until we got back. It was maybe 2 weeks later. We drove from Seattle to Portland, drove right by Tacoma. This bar in Melbourne, George's Bar, really sounds interesting because it's not what I was expecting. When I hear a bar about George Costanza, I'm picturing Applebee's or TGI Fridays, just really gaudy, on the wall. just totally in your face. But it's not like that at all. If you look at some photos online, or if you check out like a news segment here or there, it's a pretty like kind of hip, but there's some photos on the wall of George, Jason Alexander. I think there might be a few props here or there. It's more the theme of like the menu that really tie into the character. I actually have the drink menu here right in front of me. So drink number 1, we have the Summer of George. Freshly squeezed Granny Smith apples with your choice of spirits with a splash of bitters. Next is the hand model, Jack Daniel's whiskey smashed with creaming soda, lemon, finished off with a cinnamon powder, and George's chickpea brine for some Festivus body. Oh, man. Next, we have the... Ooh, I think I'm going to get this next one. The Marissa Tomei, a classic pina colada made with white rum, cocoa cream, pineapple juice, and lime for balance. There's a couple of Seinfeld references in there, right? Cocoa, pineapple.
Cocoa, pineapple.
Isn't that what she wants? The Bette Midler.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
The Italian ice.
Another drink is called Draped in Velvet, peach and ginger iced tea, a twist on the old iced tea made with vodka, gin, white rum, and Domaine de Canton. It puts the summer back in your diner. Nothing's finer. Finally, we have the Bloody George, our own customizable Bloody Mary. Choose your spirit from vodka, tequila, bourbon, and of course, the George Bloody Mix to spice things up. Yeah, so it sounds pretty clever. They've got a lot of homages to Seinfeld there, which is nice. But what we want more than anything, not only to go there, but we'd love to hear from our listeners in Australia or near Melbourne. We actually have a lot of listeners in Australia, which is awesome. So I'm sure a few of you will go and report back to us what you thought. We'd love to hear about it. So very cool. I wish more restaurants and bars did this. They had more of a Seinfeld theme to it. When is some millionaire going to take my idea and recreate the inside of Monk's and make an actual Monk's themed restaurant? If someone that would kill, put it in New York somewhere, it would absolutely make so much money. Maybe it's a copyright or a trademark issue. Perhaps. I thought this bar would get in trouble, or at least might have some, like legal entanglements. But even Jason Alexander endorsed the bar on Twitter, so that's cool. Yeah, his tweet says, "That's right. I may not have an Emmy, but I got me a bar in Melbourne, Australia. Good day, mates." Which is cool. Yeah, that's very cool. Did you see? There's also a Toasties menu. I'm not sure what a Toastie is. You got an Art Vandelay, which is a double cheese. The Quitter, pesto, tomato, mozzarella. A Mom and Pop, ham and cheddar. A New Yorker, salami, tomato, mozzarella, and a Costanza, which is tomato and cheddar. Oh, nice. Yes to all. Sounds great. To answer your question, sounds like what Toasty is, just a little simple sandwich. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Did you asked? That's true. I did. No, I'm distracted. I'm distracted.
are you
Did you ever play
thinking
Mortal Kombat growing up?
Yeah.
Remember, I think it was Mortal Kombat 2, and there was that guy who's like, Toasty!
Oh, God.
That's what I'm thinking of right now. That's why I got distracted.
I do remember that.
Well, if anybody listening is going to be in Melbourne and visiting George's bar, please send us pictures, videos, anything you can, because we would love to live vicariously through your trip. We're all, Matt and I are very jealous that you're getting to experience this and we're not.
Absolutely. One little bit of news here. This just was brought to our attention last night, so we haven't gotten a chance to listen to it yet, but Jason Alexander was on the latest episode of the Nerdist podcast. Let's see the episode number here. Oh, I'm sorry. They don't use episode numbers. They just use release dates. This is January 5th, 2016, and the description makes it all about Seinfeld. Jason Alexander talks to Chris and Matt about his son's comedy duo, how he got his start acting, and what he thought of Seinfeld when it first started. He also talks about being typecasted as George Costanza, doing live theater, and what his favorite role he has done is. Is that right? Okay.
Now, do you think for favorite role he'd say George Costanza, or would he would he say something else?
Oh, it's got to be something else. I wonder if he'll bring up Fish in the Dark. I don't know if that was a fun role for him, but yeah, everyone should check out that episode. I'll try to dig through it and pull out some interesting bites for next week. But there you go. Let's move on, though. You can email us at seincast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. Every week we do this spiel. If you could check us out on iTunes and leave us a rating and review, we'd really appreciate it. Also, if you like what you hear and you'd like to help support the show in any way, you can check out our Tumblr page and the tab that says Donate. Huge thanks to everyone who has donated to the show so far. Vinny, what episode are we discussing this week?
I don't know.
You can't tell me?
I told you, I don't know. I'm kidding. I can tell you. We are discussing...
We like to have fun around here.
Yes, we do. We are discussing the 15th episode of Season 5, The Pie, written by Tom Gamble and Max Pross, directed by Tom Schronis, and it originally aired February 17th, 1994.
Is that right?
I said it with a question. Yeah, that's right.
That is correct. Let's go over some trivia for this episode. A little bit of inspiration from Max Pross and Tom Gamble. They wrote the Glasses episode as well as
The Cigar Store Indian.
That's right. This week, the pie arc. This actually came from Jerry Seinfeld's real life. He went out with a girl. She wouldn't taste the pie, wouldn't give him a reason, and apparently this really frustrated Jerry. And this idea, the story wasn't pitched by Jerry. He just was complaining about it to Tom and Max one day, and they actually took it and ran with it.
And that was something they actually talked about in their interview, Tom Gamble and Max Pross. They said, it was actually a skill to try and get Jerry and Larry to open up about their experiences and things that seemed to irk them or just get under their skin that they wouldn't let go. That always made for an interesting premise. So when Jerry told this story about this woman, just this anecdote about a woman not taking his pie and shaking her head, said that's an idea for a story, and then they pitched it to him the next day, and he loved it.
Let's jump over to the Elaine arc. That came from just Tom and Max taking the afternoon off one day and walking around a department store, just seeing the mannequins and thinking, oh, hey, that kind of looks like someone, or what if a mannequin looked like Elaine? Pretty simple there.
We should also note that in order to get this mannequin to look so close to Elaine, they actually took molds of Julia Louis-Dreyfus's face, and there you go.
Yeah, I think so. It almost looks like a wax figure.
Yeah.
It's so close. One of the new characters this week, Olive, the cashier at Monk's who helps Kramer with his back itch. She was inspired by a cashier at the House of Pies in Los Feliz. Tom noticed that, she had these really long fingernails. And not only were her fingernails long, but she actually had to use a spoon to take change out of the register.
Also, what is she going to do on the toilet, huh?
Probably the biggest character to show up this week is Poppie, the first appearance of Poppie.
Poppie.
More about Rennie Santoni later, but the character of Poppie was inspired, this week at least, by Tom. He was in a bathroom in Little Italy. The chef came out of the stall, very similar to Poppie. The chef looked in the mirror, left without washing his hands. So that apparently really stuck with Tom over the years.
It's amazing how each of these instances that happened to Tom Gamble or Max Pross made it into the show almost verbatim. Mm-hmm. It's the exact thing they experienced.
Probably the biggest bit of trivia this week doesn't center around the writing or the casting. It actually centers around the 1994 Northridge Earthquake. So the cast was rehearsing this episode on Sunday, January 16th, 1994. The next morning, really early actually, at 4:30 a.m., a massive earthquake struck LA. And I'm sure a lot of our listeners, our older listeners or people living out in California at the time, will never forget the 6.7 earthquake. It only lasted about 10 to 20 seconds, as I would assume most earthquakes do, but the damage was just insane, from like freeways to buildings to roads splitting and opening up, houses going down hills. I can't imagine how terrifying something like this was. Vinny, you grew up on the East Coast in Maryland. I'm from Indiana. We don't really experience earthquakes.
One time when I was working in Virginia a couple years ago, we had this tiny little tremor, and I was in the pharmacy, and it shook. I saw the aisles in the grocery move back and forth, and all the stuff fell down, and it was just the tiniest little thing. I can't imagine what a 6.7 would feel like. So I'm kind of thankful I live on the East Coast for that reason.
Yeah, I do remember that as well. I was sitting at my desk, and I remember just feeling like a shimmying, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, there must be some construction outside.
Yeah.
But then it was like, national news, like East Coast gets hit by earthquake. And I think the most damage was like maybe like a bottle of shampoo fell off a counter. Yeah. You know what I mean?
My feelings were hurt that day.
Yeah. But, on a more serious note, the Northridge earthquake in 1994, officially 57 people died. But I was reading on Wikipedia that there were many more reported deaths from indirect causes. More than 5,000 people were injured. Do you remember hearing this on the news growing up? You would have been, what, like 11 or so?
Not really. Nothing that I can recall, unfortunately.
I remember seeing images of like freeways collapsing, the roads split up, stuff like that. But I feel like you really had to be there at the time to just understand how devastating this was. Now, how does this affect the production of Seinfeld? The Seinfeld stage actually suffered severe damage as a result of the earthquake. The north and south walls of the stage were blown out. Not to mention those editing trailers that kind of went sliding down the hills. We mentioned those a few weeks ago. Production was planning to move to Paramount Studios, which didn't get hit nearly as hard. But CBS Studios didn't want to lose such a huge show like Seinfeld. So they decided to work around the clock for 3 weeks in order to restore the stage. So the show's ready to go into production. They have to take a month off, essentially, to repair the damages. Now, this is pretty cool. There was an incentive for Seinfeld to stick with CBS Studios. They decided to rebuild the back lot. So instead of having those 3 or 4 storefronts like Almo's Grill, Joe's Fruit Stand that have made up the New York street for the past 2 or 3 seasons, they're going to build a full street of storefronts. And that's what we're going to have for the remainder of the series, starting in season 6.
Huh. So this is the catalyst that got them to build the newer, more modern New York street.
Right. Now, they couldn't just build it in a matter of weeks. It was actually built over the summer of 94. So I don't know if we'll get many, if any, street scenes for the remainder of season 5. It'll be interesting to see if we do, because I'm not sure if that backlot was destroyed from the earthquake or if it suffered damage that they just didn't want to repair. But we won't see that full street until season 6. But I always wondered what prompted them to build a larger street. Was it just because this one was so limiting,
or was it bigger budget, more demand, or writing? They're writing more scenes that require streets.
A few of the cast members talk on the DVDs about the experience of living through that earthquake. Jerry didn't really seem to realize the danger he was in at the time. He was kind of making a joke out of it. Julia, however, was just terrified. She just wanted to leave the city with her family. Michael, however, seemed to fall somewhere between the two. And I love this comment he made on one of the DVDs about the danger posed at the studio.
There were some problems all about the studio lot with gas lines. And I thought, well, if we're going to go, suddenly an explosion occurs while we're taping, that would be the best way to go. I can't think of any better way to go than saying a line and all of a sudden it's just a big ball of fire. And they got that, of course, on camera. Somehow that was preserved, and they could show that back. I mean, that would be a real blooper.
That would be a pretty epic way to go, wouldn't you say? Especially if it were captured on film for everyone to to watch.
Yeah, it kind of mimics Kramer's, the character, take on life and death, you know? He doesn't fear death. And remember in the finale when the plane's going down? Oh, glory, hallelujah.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, boy. Well, should we get started?
Alrighty.
Aren't mannequins kind of an insult to your imagination? You couldn't possibly visualize a sweater, so we'll show you on this life-size snotty puppet. I guess when they're finished with them, they become crash test dummies. That's the end of the line for a mannequin. Whatever happened to Bob? Have you seen that new Volvo commercial? He's got a bullseye right in his face. Mannequins are only used for car accidents and fashion. I guess these are the two situations that it's impossible for us to imagine ourselves. Well-dressed or getting killed. I'm sure there's some pro-mannequin organization doesn't even like you to use the term mannequin. Hey, they're not mannequins. They're the life-deprived.
I am a big fan of that well-dressed and getting killed line. I also like that the stand-up introduces the mannequin topic because we know what's coming now, especially if you watch it in syndication. You're like, oh, this is the one with the mannequin. And I felt, Matt, this would be a great example to kind of not teach everybody, but we always play this game of when we come up with what episode was that from? And we have one little thing to go off of, and we have to connect it to one storyline, to another storyline, to another storyline, in order to figure out what the name of the show is. So if we have mannequin, so Elaine's got a mannequin character. Okay, we can connect that to George buys the suit in Renitzi's. Okay, George has a suit. How do we get to what's next?
Well, you know, when George wears the suit, he won't taste the pie, so you know that goes to Jerry.
Okay, and that means Jerry dates a girl that doesn't... Oh, it's the pie. It's the pie episode.
Yeah.
It's almost like a 4 degrees of Seinfeld separation.
Yes, absolutely. This episode is really good at, as we always bring up, dovetailing the storylines. Really, really masterful this week. I like the stand-up. I was actually just reading it as opposed to listening to it this morning, and it's really all over the place. He bounces from this idea to this idea to this joke to this joke, and when you read it, not that many of our listeners would, it really comes off like Jerry's stand-up with Fulton. Where it's like, and then there was he's holding the pizzas and in the derm.
You remember the derm?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does jump from mannequins to Volvo commercials.
Well, then at the end, which is really one of my favorite kind of like areas, the whole like euphemism, they're not mannequins, they're the life deprived. That just reminds me so much of George Carlin's like brilliant routines on euphemisms, like toilet paper became bathroom tissue, car crashes became automobile accidents, the CIA doesn't kill anyone, they neutralize, just some really good stuff there.
Genius.
Oh, dude. He is the prophet. He is the best. Have we talked about this? Our favorite stand-up comedians? Is Jerry at the top of your list?
No, well, my favorite's Mitch.
Mitch Hedberg. I think Carlin's my favorite. And I hate saying this because I love Jerry, but I think Jerry's my number 3, right behind Dangerfield.
Oh, yeah, Rodney. It's not up there. Yeah, Rodney's up there for me, too.
Mm-hmm. I thought Dane Cook was your number 1.
What is it with you today, busting my balls? I'm a Dane Cook loving, Donald Trump supporting vagabond over here.
First scene is at Monk's.
Jerk.
Jerry's out to eat with his girlfriend this week, Audrey. Vinny, what was that myth you said about the Holocaust?
Fuck you.
I only bring that up because the elephant in the room is we've seen this girlfriend before, haven't we?
She looks familiar. This is Suzanne Snyder coming back to finish up her double dip, this time as Audrey, the pie decliner. She previously played Ava, the Nazi, in The Limo.
Yeah.
You know who's responsible for limos, don't you? The Jews.
Wow. Kind of harmonized there. The Jews.
The Jews, the Jews, the Jews.
The Jews. This is, I think, one of the biggest double dippers, just in terms of like, not that it's the most obvious, because I think there's always at least one person out there who never made the connection. But I put her up there. Jake Jarmel, that's another huge double dipper when he played the cop in the Trip, and Marlene, George's ex-girlfriend, who later becomes
George's other girlfriend as Kelly in Monks.
The waitress. Yep. This is crazy though, because she looks the exact same. You know, there's no way to hide the two characters. Same haircut.
Her hair is dyed. No, her hair is a different color.
Really?
It's dark brown here. It was like a lighter blonde.
Oh.
Dirty blonde in the limo.
I didn't realize that. I always thought she looked identical, but
she's a Nazi, Matt.
But the hairstyle's the same, you know, same kind of outfit. With Marlene and Kelly, I mean, not only is the voice different, the hair's different, the costume's
drastic
different.
changes to appearance and tone. You're right.
Right.
But I still think, I mean, after multiple watches, I can disconnect and see them as two different characters. It doesn't bother me none.
Mm-hmm. I really like this actress, though, Suzanne Snyder. I think she has some great lines in the limo. She doesn't have some great lines per se in this episode, but just some really fun deliveries.
Of course, because she's shaking her head the whole time. Hi-ho!
Yeah, I mean, just the mannerisms, physical mannerisms. But there's also like a delivery of a few lines that I love. Like when Jerry says, "Oh, are you full?" "No, I've had just enough." It's so...
Yeah. It's very dainty.
Very dainty.
Later on, we're going to see her when she goes, "Poppie, this is Jerry."
Yeah. Great delivery this week from Suzanne Snyder. Jerry and Audrey, they just had dinner at Monk's. They're going to move on to dessert here in the clip. But I wanted to bring this up. Is this the first time Jerry has brought a girlfriend to Monk's, at least in a date capacity?
Huh. That's really hard because I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking I can't tell when, because he's brought multiple girlfriends there.
Well, I think of like, you know, Janine Garofalo, you know, the bowl of Cheerios.
The Two-Face he brings, Gwen.
But up until this point, I don't think.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sharon, right.
Sharon Leonard is there in the outing, but they're not dating. You know, it's not like a.
Right. Huh. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe.
If you think of anyone, let me know. If any of our listeners can think of anyone that Jerry brings to Monk's for a date before this episode, let us know. So Jerry has some dessert dropped off, and here we go. This is the whole setup for the episode.
Ah, here we go. Apple pie. Best apple pie in the city. Delicious. I'm not waiting for you. Take some.
No, thanks.
You're not going to have any?
No.
Do you not like apple pie?
No, it's not that.
Well, at least taste it.
No.
You won't even taste it?
No.
Come on, try it. A little taste. Come on.
So there you go, the riddle of the pie. We have some incredible fan theories that we would love to go over as to why Audrey won't try Jerry's pie throughout the episode. However, we're going to bring these up, I think, at the end. You know, we'll save them for then.
Okay.
We reached out to listeners on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit. And we've got a lot to get through. So,
per Tom Gamble and Max Prost, that scene is pretty much verbatim the way Jerry described the incident he had with the pie decliner. And they just wrote it in.
Verbatim. I can't imagine being in a situation like this and someone responding that way.
Yeah. Like, what are you, 5 years old?
Are you okay? Also, there was a deleted scene right smack dab in the middle between, you know, the opening of, "Oh, are you full? Oh, no, I've had just enough," to when the pie gets dropped off. And in that deleted scene, this is when Jerry would picture the idea of the moving walkway, right?
Right. We actually saw him explain to her how, and he actually does the mannerism of kind of gliding forward as if you're on one of those walkways in the airport. And she is not on board with this idea.
No. And, you know, it would be better for people to check out the actual clip as opposed to just hear it. Maybe I can find it on YouTube and we'll include it in our show notes. But I think this is a very important moment in Audrey's, you know, rationale for not trying Jerry's pie. There's something in her
demeanor.
Yes. When she hears this idea from Jerry, she gets kind of upset.
She's like, kind of turned off after this. She was in a good mood, and then all of a sudden, she's more stone faced.
Right, and you don't. I mean, the official Seinfeld canon is what aired, so there's more of a mystery element as to why she won't try the pie. But you could argue if they left this scene in, she got offended by Jerry's idea, or that it pissed her off for some reason, and that's why she wouldn't try it. Maybe out of spite.
Absolutely.
But
I think that scene that portion of the scene had to be cut, because otherwise there would be no mystery surrounding why she declined the pie.
Right. It's very visible how, for some reason, why she's mad when he pitches this idea. Let's move on to the next scene here. We're at Jerry's apartment, and he's explaining what happened, while George throws out a few theories. Maybe she's diabetic.
No, she carries Entenmann's donuts in her purse.
Maybe Jerry said something that offended her.
The only thing I can think of is that they should have those moving walkways all over the city.
Like at the airport?
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Tell me about it. They could at least try it.
So this kind of goes back to our original theory. I mean, if they had left that scene in, I think it would be very apparent. It wouldn't make sense necessarily, but there would be some evidence as to why.
But it's interesting how Jerry kind of suspects that might have been it. And, I watched the episode not having seen that deleted scene yet, or nor knowing about it. But I'm like, why would she be upset over an idea like that of having the moving walkways? That's asinine. But after watching the deleted scene, all signs point to that is the culprit.
And the great joke here is too, like, maybe that is the reason why she was upset. But that doesn't matter. It's just Jerry and George being like, that's a great idea.
Yeah, they're more excited about the idea itself. This is actually reminding me now, it's kind of reminiscent of George having this conversation with Susan about extending the stalls all the way down to the floor at Yankee Stadium. And she is kind of off-put by this idea, I think, of having to discuss toilets at the table. And she wants to drop the idea, and George is kind of now turned off that Susan is not even wanting to discuss the idea.
See, now that I don't care for. The whole idea of a walkway like they have at the airport, wasn't this a part of Jerry's stand-up? People standing on these walkways like it's a ride. Yeah.
There are no elephants or animatronic animals along the way.
Yeah.
Do your legs work at all? Something like that.
Little Jack Nicholson there. So Elaine enters, and her advice for Audrey not tasting the pie.
Dump her. Oh, isn't that a little bit cold-blooded of Elaine to say that?
Cold-blooded.
I feel like we're seeing the first inklings of Elaine succumbing to the dark side.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because, I mean, the transition is going to happen where she's not going to be the sweet, lovable, cute Elaine from the seasons 1 through 3 of old. She's going to start getting a little bit more... That acid tongue is going to come even more.
Yeah, a little more jaded, a little more burnt out.
She's been through every guy in the city. Now she's coming back around the order.
Well, here's some interesting trivia. Elaine actually once broke up with someone for not offering her pie. Now, is that fair? Like, hey, someone didn't offer me pie. I'm going to break up with him. He wouldn't offer her anything that he was eating. So that could be like a deeper issue.
When you look at the context of the whole picture of this guy, he could have been having a hero and he wouldn't give her a bite. That seems like he's a selfish guy, a guy you don't want to associate with. But if it was just like... the first time we went out, we had dessert. He didn't offer me one bite of his pie. That's a little ridiculous.
A little petty, yeah.
Kramer didn't offer her a bite of his gyro on the subway.
Oh, that's true. No bites.
No bites.
Yeah. Little bit of trivia here I thought was interesting. This guy that Elaine broke up with for not offering her a bite of a pie or a hero, he had a name, and his name was Arthur Fox.
Sounds like an old distinguished writer.
Or like a detective of some sort, like a film noir.
Yeah.
I don't know. So Kramer enters and wants Elaine to pose in a certain way, like a statue. Turns out there's a clothing store downtown called Renitzi, and it has a mannequin which looks exactly like her.
When Elaine does that mannequin pose and Kramer gives her the, oh, yeah! You can actually see Elaine get startled by this. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, man. Elaine seems sort of flattered, somewhat excited to check it out. Like, oh, my gosh, looks just like me.
They chopped off her arms and legs, dipped her in plastic, and screwed her all back together.
Well, Kramer starts scratching his back with one of Jerry's spatulas.
May I help you?
Oh, hang on. I have to nitpick that. It's, may I help you? Do you hear the difference?
Okay.
You're hitting you. No, I'm just kidding. Only because I love that line so much.
Yeah.
He's just so disgusted with the whole situation. Here's someone else who is really growing as a character. Jerry turning into a little bit more of a germaphobe.
Yes.
This week. Rightfully so, you know.
True. It's funny that this is the week that Jerry picks to let his germophobia come out, because that's one of the fan theories as to why Audrey wouldn't take a bite of his pie.
Yeah. Well, turns out Kramer was watching TV without a shirt on, and one of his couch cushions didn't have any fabric on it, hence why he's, scratching his back.
Before you go on, wouldn't it have been kind of cool if he still couldn't get the sand out from last week from being at the beach?
The beach! Oh, boy. So Elaine is going to head to the store to Ranitzi to see the mannequin, and George will join her since he has to buy a suit for a second interview with this guy or company, Mackenzie. Is the guy Mackenzie or is the company Mackenzie?
It's kind of open to interpretation. In the script, the guy is known as Mr. Fleming.
Okay.
And the company's Mackenzie, but George tends to refer to the guy himself as Mackenzie.
As Mackenzie. All right. Well, he's got this second interview. It's going to be over lunch, so he needs to look pretty nice for it. Before we move on, let's talk about two outfits in this scene. One of our listeners, and I am so sorry, I do not have their name. We really appreciate what you noticed here. Jerry,
whatever your name is.
Jerry is wearing his baby blue outfit. This is the outfit that we saw him wear at the end of the Marine Biologist. And if you think about it, in the air date order, that was right before this episode. So it would have been a nice bit of continuity to see the outfits, line up.
It's a good catch, Stan.
Also, Kramer is wearing his lobster shirt.
Is this the first appearance of the lobster shirt?
I think it is. I can't think of another episode where he wore this prior to this, but this is, I think, one of his most iconic outfits.
Absolutely. This is one of the few shirts you can actually purchase online and kind of you can do a search for Kramer lobster shirt, and this is the one that pops up.
Right.
It's not an authentic one. It's, kind of a cheap made version, but
polyester.
Yeah.
There was a big photo session somewhere during like season 7, season 8 of The Four Guys, and Kramer is wearing that lobster shirt. Hence why I think it is so iconic for him.
Nice. I remember when we went to the Cyclones game year 2, you borrowed your wife's father's lobster shirt, right?
Yes.
Or you were gonna wear it, and then did we make Liz wear it instead?
Yeah, Liz wore it instead. I don't know why we had her wear it, but
it was a blue shirt with lobsters on it. It wasn't white, so it was kind of a stretch.
It was kind of cute too. It was kind of like when Elaine walks out of Jerry's bedroom with the purple shirt on.
Yes, it was.
Way too big. Anyways, we're over at Ranitzi, and Elaine and George are checking out the mannequin, up close. Just shocked at how much it looks like her. Even the hair, it's got the wall. There's a nice Invasion of the Body Snatchers reference by George here, which kind of ties into, remember that bit you had about Kramer? He's not normal, he's a pod.
Yeah.
That kind of ties in,
He's also been body snatched.
Mm-hmm. But Elaine wants to know, how did this happen? Is it just a coincidence? Meanwhile, George finds and puts on this amazing suit. And we're gonna play a lot of clips this week, but I just want to preface this with the George Ranitzi scenes are my favorite scenes of the episode. Mm-hmm. Right? They're just so good.
You are perfect for that suit.
You think so?
Excuse me, where did this come from?
I don't know.
You really think this looks okay on me?
Fabulous. Perfect fit, and it's the last one we have.
I'm sorry, you can't tell me where the mannequin came from?
I told you, I don't know.
Well, is there somebody around here I could talk to who would know?
Why?
Isn't it obvious? This mannequin looks exactly like me. Did you just roll your eyes at him? Because let me tell you something. If anybody should be rolling their eyes, it is me at him about you.
I think maybe you're flattering yourself. That mannequin is wearing a $1,200 Gautier dress.
Oh, what are you saying? That I'm not good enough for this hideous dress? Listen, Natasha. I wouldn't be caught dead wearing your crummy little Eurotrash rags. I'll meet you outside.
What is her problem?
What can you do? Is this the price tag?
Yes.
Yes, hello, party's over.
I love this scene so much. This might be my favorite scene of the episode.
Okay.
Just because I love the saleswoman, Natasha, whatever you want to call her. Love her performance. So good. Yep. Elaine's got some killer lines in this scene. And Jason, as George, has great deliveries. What can you do?
Yeah, he's so into this suit, checking himself out in the mirror, that Elaine could potentially come to blows with this saleswoman that he doesn't care. He's more, and then, is this the price? So it's kind of funny that George, in true George fashion, is not, caring about the well-being of his friends.
Yeah.
And then if you look at Elaine, she's embracing her role as queen of confrontation. She doesn't back down from anyone, even this Amazon woman, Natasha.
And one of my favorite Elaine lines, let me tell you something. If anybody should be rolling their eyes, it's me at him about you.
So this nefarious saleswoman is played by Christine Dunford. She plays... Elaine calls her Natasha. We don't know if her name is actually Natasha.
Let's call her Natasha.
I like calling her Natasha.
For comedy's sake.
But I don't need to go down her list of previous credits because I already did. She's Leslie in The Baby Shower. If you don't remember that, go back to season 2. She double dipped her chip.
Okay. That's enough.
This is the conclusion of her dip.
Yes. This, while... Suzanne Snyder, I think, is a pretty obvious double dip. This one just blew my mind. And this was the one you noticed, I think, way back in college or years ago.
I was good.
And now her hair is definitely different in this. I think she's got like a brown wig in The Baby Shower.
She's got bangs and she's pregnant. And
right.
She's blonde, more streamlined, no baby. And the accent.
The accent is really what throws it because I still can't figure out what the accent is. Is it French?
I think it's like Eastern European.
I got that vibe from, calling her Natasha. I thought that was like a Boris and Natasha reference from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
You had to explain that to me. Yes, I agree.
But she's not Russian, so I don't know what's going on. So Natasha tells George, hey, we're having this unadvertised sale on Friday. That suit is going to be half price. And George likes that, especially, because he has that lunch with Mackenzie on Friday. However, the store can't put the suit aside for him. It wouldn't be fair to other customers. So what George does is he moves the suit, behind a few others, kind of hides it.
And as another customer walks by, he leans on top of that rack so that the guy can't find that there's a nice looking suit there.
Yeah, and we find out later, in another scene that George actually is spending a lot of his free time at the department store just guarding this suit. He's going to guard the suit until Friday.
Is that abnormal to do that?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Without a doubt.
He's guarding a suit.
And a pretty ugly suit at that. I mean, you get a better view of it when he, spoilers, actually buys it.
Yeah, it's brown with pinstripes, I believe. I'm
like, is it wallpaper design? Is it like a rug? What is it? Corduroy, too?
Never heard of corduroy. Okay, I'm done.
So we're at Monk's, and Elaine, Kramer, and Jerry are, out to eat. Turns out Elaine called the mannequin manufacturer, but they wouldn't tell her how or why the mannequin looks just like her. So, here's another mystery that's sort of up in the air this week. Meanwhile, Jerry's distracted by a couple of women sitting behind them.
Excuse me. I couldn't help but notice you offered her a piece of your pie.
That's right.
And you waved it away.
Right.
Did you give her a reason?
Yes. I was full.
You were full. So you gave a reason. You didn't just shake your head.
No, I'm not a psycho.
Exactly. You're not a psycho. You've been very helpful. Thank you very much. Allow me to leave the tip.
I think we've proven who the psycho is.
We certainly have. I really like this exchange between Jerry and these two elderly women. And he's so perplexed by this pie issue that he can't even concentrate on what Elaine has to say. He has to, he's looking past her. He has to go over to the table and interject. But further validation that he's not the one who's crazy. It's Audrey who's off her rocker. Mm-hmm. But woman number one is played by Patricia Belcher. She was in Flatliners, Clear and Present Danger. She was on the Hughleys TV show for a while. Heartbreakers, Jeepers Creepers, 500 Days of Summer, and she was a cast regular on the TV show Bones.
Oh, very nice.
And then meanwhile, the English woman who plays woman number 2 is Pamela Mant. She was in The Running Man, Ulysses, and Leprechaun.
The woman played by Pamela Mant, one of the most bizarre, just minor characters on Seinfeld. Like, not the fact that she's British, but she's got the hat on. It just seems very out of place for a New York coffee shop.
She's visiting her friend. What do you want?
I don't know. Just
what's the matter with you?
It seems a little weird. No,
I think you're the psycho.
All right. Well, Kramer wants Elaine to scratch his back. Just one lap around, but she refuses.
It'll be a funky adventure.
Well, what about Jerry?
I think you know my policy. Jerry is kind of averse to wanting to touch Kramer in any way, whether it's having his jockeys on his kitchen table or rubbing lotion on his back in the Hamptons episode.
Yes, good point.
That's not sweetening the deal.
So Kramer's going to head home to spatula, the verb to spatula. But as he's paying his bill, the cashier, it's not Ruthie Cohen. It's a young woman with these really long nails, and she offers Kramer help with his itch.
Do you need some help with that itch?
Madam, I pray you're not toying with me.
Turn around.
Oh, God. I love these two. I think this is one of Kramer's best girlfriends.
She is adorable. Her voice, the nails. She's really eclectic looking. She's like Phoebe on Friends before she was Phoebe.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Olive, and she's actually played by actress Sunday Theodore. Her name is even cute. Her name's Sunday. I'm in love with her. But she was in a movie called Shut Up and Shut Up and Kiss Me. She was also in a movie called You're Killing Me, which is another Seinfeld reference, as well as Joey Breaker, and she was on an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at one point.
Ah, very nice. So we're over at Renitzi's. George apparently stepped away from guarding the suit just for a few minutes, and wouldn't you know it, Natasha is helping another customer try it on and kind of feeding him that same line. It fits you perfectly. And how would you describe this guy trying on this suit?
He's very similar in body type to George.
He's short. He's stocky.
He's a little round in the middle, balding, glasses, same height. Got a bit of an attitude.
An attitude problem?
But in the script, he was originally referred to as Dumpy Guy.
That's a great way to describe him, though. He is a dumpier version of George.
Oh, that's sad.
Oh, come on. But it's a great rival for George this week. Someone that kind of fits his body type.
Yeah.
But since this guy looks like he's about to buy the suit, George has to step in.
Can I help you? I'm buying the suit. No. This suit is not for sale.
Excuse me, do you work here?
No.
Then what the hell business is it of yours?
Look, I'm doing you a favor. They're having an unadvertised sale. This suit is going to be half price starting Monday.
Really?
Yeah.
This Monday?
Yes. Now take off those pants.
Actually, the unadvertised sale starts on Friday.
Friday. Thanks.
Honey, for an unadvertised sale, you're doing a lot of yapping about it.
We didn't get to hear it in that clip, but Natasha will then start to take the dress off the Elaine mannequin. And
oh, yeah.
George is very aroused. I think he grabs his chest in shock.
Very uncomfortable seeing George get so excited over this plastic version of his friend getting undressed, or being undressed, I should say. And this Dumpy Guy we spoke of earlier, that's played by actor Mark Beltzman. It's funny, he actually went to the writers and said, is it okay if we change the name Dumpy Guy to something else in the script? Because it kind of hurts me when I hear that. So they actually gave this guy a name, Bob. And Tom Gamble, Max Pross also said Jerry really liked giving even the most minute characters actual names to kind of give the role some life versus just calling them Old Woman or Dumpy Guy.
Or like the two women we just saw earlier at Monk's, woman number 1, woman number 2.
Why couldn't that be Rose and Joy having a piece of pie? Why not?
But I feel kind of bad for Mark here, just being like, could we kind of lay off the Dumpy?
Yeah. Ouch.
I think it's a fair character description, though, because I think you want someone like George. Not only do they fit into the suit, but there's something setting him apart. So it's not like a George Neal situation.
True, and if you call him Dumpy Guy, you know exactly who it is. Like you can visualize him, you know which character that is. Versus if you say Bob, you have to think which one is Bob again. So I get it, but I wouldn't want to be cast as Dumpy Guy.
Well,
but Mark, yeah,
I think you should have both. Like Aaron, he's also the close talker. Leslie is the low talker.
Bob, the
Bob's
Dumpy Guy.
the dumpy guy.
Okay. All right.
My favorite line from that clip, though, is that last one from George. Honey, for an unadvertised sale, you're doing a lot of yapping about it. Mm-hmm. Little attitude in him today.
Yeah. Well, he wants that suit.
Yeah.
Mark Beltzman plays Bob. He was in Home Alone. He played a character called Stosh. Does that ring a bell?
In Home Alone?
Yeah.
Stosh.
I'm trying to think of where, unless he was he a delivery guy or was he an airport driver? Yeah, I'm drawing a blank of who he played in Home Alone. While you're thinking about that, he was also in Mo Money. He was in Billy Madison. That one is a big one.
Oh, I love that. He's the not Norm Macdonald. He's the other friend.
The friend.
And
yeah.
I love it when at Billy's parties, Billy goes up to talk to him, and he's just standing there with a hose, spraying a kid in the face who's crying. And he's like, "I want my mom," and he's just spraying him.
What are you doing, mister? Yeah. He was also in Wedding Singer, and he was in a couple episodes of According to Jim. And get this, I didn't know about this either. He was in Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm. He was a mourner in the pilot episode.
So I cheated here, and I Googled Mark Beltzman Home Alone, and the first link that comes up says, "Who is Stosh?" The only answer says, Stosh is one of the members of John Candy's polka band.
Oh.
So he might not even have a line. He might just be, one of the guys playing like an oboe or a tuba or something. So there you go. I'll always remember him, though, from Billy Madison, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's cut over to Poppie's. Jerry and Audrey are out to eat. And this blew my mind. You're going to be so irritated with me. I did not know that Poppie was her dad.
Oh, God.
But hang on here. Just because I know his name's Poppie, I thought it was like a term of endearment. Or he was like an uncle or a grandfather.
Yeah, Poppie's normally reserved for grandfather, at least among Italians.
Right. And their relationship is really weird. Like she's almost too sweet with him. It doesn't feel like a father-daughter dynamic. It feels more like like I said, a grandfather and uncle.
But there's the ADR line that says, "I can't believe your father owns this restaurant."
Yes.
Did you not hear that?
Well, I heard that, yes. But
that clearly means she's his grandfather.
Well, the fact that they had to do an ADR of it makes me think it wasn't clear in the original script.
Okay,
Okay,
you moron.
Also, they don't look anything alike. Like, she does not look Italian whatsoever.
I'm done with you.
So the place is pretty fancy. The set actually looks a little familiar.
It does look a little familiar.
It looks a little familiar.
Yeah. It kind of looks like Pfeiffer's restaurant.
Yeah, from the shoes where Gail Cunningham worked. Both restaurants, Pfeiffer's and Poppie's, have that open kitchen.
Yes.
Kind of that like blue-gray interior. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure it's the same set, just redressed. Could be the same restaurant, because Pfeiffer's probably got shut down. Did it? For making Russell sick?
Wow, that's true.
I don't know. Maybe too many people got food poisoning or, got sick from the food.
And I don't like to, spoil things, but this restaurant might get shut down. There's a black cloud over this location.
It is the dream cafe of high-end restaurants.
There you go.
Well, Jerry is still racking his brain over the pie. He starts asking Audrey about the desserts. She's, of course, tried them all, even the apple pie, many times.
He does that lean in where he goes, "You've tried them?"
Jerry decides to put it out there. He wants to be honest with Audrey.
"I'm a very curious guy. It's my nature. I need to know things. Not tasting the apple pie the other day. I can't get past it. You obviously like pies. You carry donuts in your bag. You're not averse to pastry. Surely you could see how such a thing would prey on my mind." And what is the line she says after this, Matt?
Can we drop this? Is that right?
Correct.
That is correct.
Something is... Hey, there we go. Nice callback. Something is plaguing her, and she doesn't want to share it with Jerry. Do you pick up on that?
Yes. Audrey's definitely holding back in this scene. And then again,
she's eaten an apple pie before at Poppie's, but she won't eat the pie that Jerry has tasted and offer her. And we'll learn that she's had the same pie at Monk's. So Jerry is the variable here. That is Ooh, I just had a really wild idea with a with a fan theory that I'm gonna hold until we talk about it later.
All right, cool. But we're definitely examining this case. You know, this is Making a Murderer kind of, format here. We're really going to break down this incident and figure out what happened. Let's talk about Poppie instead. He stops by the table, and I never would have thought we're getting one of the classic Seinfeld characters here.
Yep.
With this appearance, and it has nothing to do with I don't have the actor's name in front of me.
Rennie Santoni.
Yeah, his performance, because he is amazing as Poppie. He is wonderful, but you kind of feel like this is a single shot character.
I thought it was, and then I forgot. I was like, oh my God, he's in 4 other episodes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's some characters who have an even bigger impact on the Seinfeld world that are in fewer episodes.
True, but Poppie is an awesome character, awesome actor. That voice, his facial expressions. I sent you a GIF of Poppie winking.
Oh man,
because he's kneading that dough.
I don't know.
It cracks me up every time.
I don't know what my response is to that, but he's very charming. Like, it's a very loving, kind wink.
Hello. Poppie is played by actor Rennie Santoni. He appears in The Pie, The Couch, The Doorman, and The Finale. And they're all kind of related. Like, they all kind of piggyback Poppie's storyline in the Seinfeld universe. We got The Pie, where he's busted by the Board of Health. And then in The Couch, he starts this new restaurant and with Kramer. And then him and Jerry and Elaine have, butt heads. The Doorman, he appears for a split second, but then they reference The Couch in The Doorman. And then he comes back in the finale because he was such a great character.
Yeah. And he's also referenced. Remember in The Maestro, he goes to see
Poppie's cousin.
So he's just like a name drop.
Mm-hmm. Rennie Santoni was in Dirty Harry. He was in Cobra. He voiced a part in Rain Man.
Huh.
I'm not familiar with that, with the voice portion. But
he was the voice of Dustin Hoffman.
There it is. He was in Only You. He was in Groundhog Day, Can't Hardly Wait, and in 28 Days.
Only You? That's a Marissa Tomei movie.
What, do you got a thing for her?
Sorry, I jumped in there. He was in Can't Hardly Wait. Is that what you were about to say?
He was a police officer, and I remember him from that one. Yeah, I liked him a lot in that.
One of my favorite podcasts out there, How Did This Get Made, covers Cobra, the Sylvester Stallone movie from the 80s, which is just insane. And I was so happy to see him in that movie. He's sort of like his partner.
I've never seen Cobra. I'll have to watch it now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But Bridget Nielsen is in it as well. And that was around the time that...
Sylvester's wife.
Yeah, the two of them started dating. Mm-hmm.
Let's say.
So Poppie, very nice guy, very warm, loving. He's like, hey, don't fill up on the bread. I'm making a very special dinner for you. Very special. Jerry still wants to talk about the pies with Audrey, but excuses himself to go to the bathroom. And he even does that hand thing.
Yeah.
The two hands that just kind of wave.
Forget about it.
Yeah, forget about it. Wave it off.
Forget the whole thing.
So in the bathroom, Jerry is washing his hands, and Poppie comes out of one of the stalls.
Ah, Jerry. Tonight you in it for a real treat. I'm personally going to prepare the dinner for you and my Audrey.
Classic scene, pretty tough to sell from the audio, but who doesn't know this scene? As Jerry looks at the stall, then looks at the sink, looks at the stall.
Oh man, the way his head zigzags back and forth as he's trying to piece together what's happening. Mm-hmm. I do have one gripe about this scene, Matt. Unfortunately, can you guess what it is?
Is it the sign on the wall?
No, it's not the sign. There is a wash hands sign.
I thought that was a little on the nose. Like we get why Jerry's upset. You don't need that.
Yeah.
Please wash hands. But
yeah, it wasn't that.
What do you got?
If you see Poppie come out of the bathroom, he's in the stall, and he comes out. He's got his apron on, and it's a full body apron. It goes around his neck, and then it goes down all the way to his knees, and it's wrapped around his waist. But he's, I'm going to fix you a special dinner. He fixes his hair, his collar, and then he turns his back to the camera, and you see him do the body gesture as if he's zipping up his fly.
Oh.
But the apron is blocking where his fly would be. So he's doing the action of zipping up his fly. Like the actor is doing this, not the character. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Maybe he's readjusting. It's not a zip. He's just, trying to get some air or some room.
Matt, I've readjusted. That wasn't a readjust. That was a blatant disregard for continuity there.
Despite that, the logic of it, I do like that gesture just because I think that sells the joke more than the please wash hands sign.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nah,
I don't know. I just I get that he has to have the apron on because he's cooking, but I don't know. Why am I bothered by this? It's stupid.
Rennie Santoni, man, really dropping the ball. The Poppie legacy has been ruined.
Yeah, this is worse than the old man.
Well, Jerry returns to his table and looks like he's seen a ghost. Shell shock. And this is what you texted me earlier, the shot of Jerry just sitting at the table and looking over at Poppie in the kitchen.
And he's kneading that dough, and then he gives a nice wink with a smile to Jerry. But both Jerry's, recoil of horror, and then Poppy's very charming wink. It's a really nice back and forth.
Oh, definitely. We just jump over to Monk's briefly, and this is when it's late at night. Olive is getting off work when Kramer arrives with a huge bouquet of flowers, and they walk off together as she scratches his back. It's really cute.
I love Olive. She's a great girlfriend for Kramer.
Definitely,
they really suit each other.
Something I meant to ask you at the top of the episode when Jerry and Audrey are at Monk's having the pie. The lights are turned down a little bit. It's a little dim in Monk's, and here it's the same thing, almost like it's about to be closing time. Which made me think of, is Monk's 24 hours. I always assumed it was, but
for some reason I seem to recall we did discuss this in an earlier episode that they had hours posted on the wall at Monk's, and I don't know if they close at 2 or 3 a.m. But I don't know, if they're a diner, wouldn't they be open really early? So would it make sense for them to even close?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is Tom's Restaurant, are they open 24 hours in New York?
That's a great question. I don't know. I've been there at 6 a.m. So you would think being a diner they would at least open early,
right? And
being so close to Columbia, those I would think students would want to head there, after going to the bar. So, anyways, we're back at Poppy's, and this is when Poppy arrives at the table with the little pizza he's made, and Audrey tastes it, loves it, but when Jerry is presented with a slice, what does he do?
It's hard to. It's hard to do this in a audio medium, but he shakes his head vigorously,
just like Audrey did with the pie. It's moments like this that Jerry. Well, I mean, Audrey did it first, but Jerry really looks like a little kid here.
Yeah,
just big eyes. No.
He's really distraught.
Actually, that reminds me when Tim Watley offers to take Jerry to Mendy's. He's like, "You ever been to Mendy's?"
No Mendy's.
No Mendy's.
Good point.
Anyways, act break here, and we're at Jerry's apartment. Love this image.
Yeah, right? I thought the same thing. Eating cereal, two best friends sitting around talking about their relationships.
We've been friends for a long time, over 10 years now, and I don't think we've ever sat down with 2 bowls of cereal before.
That's true.
We should do that.
We've also never talked about real life events either.
It's true. Only Seinfeld.
I think I've had cereal with Liz because Liz eats cereal.
That's my wife.
But you don't.
No.
What was your cereal of choice growing up?
Ooh, that's a good question. I grew up in a really healthy household. So we didn't have really any sweet cereal. The closest we'd get to sugary cereal was probably Honey Nut Cheerios. So I really like that.
Look at this rebel over here.
But in terms of cereals cereals of all time, it's gross, but I loved Captain Crunch with berries.
Oh, see, I like the peanut butter crunch.
One cereal that I think everyone loves that I hated still to this day.
Lucky Charms.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Can't stand it. I hate the taste of the little frosted bits. And
marshmallows are too hard.
Oh, they're too hard, and it's like a squeaky crunch, or they get soggy. I just
hurts your teeth.
Yeah, never understood it. Anyhow, Jerry and George eating some bowls of cereal. They're talking about Poppie, being in the bathroom. How's a wild scene? And Jerry makes a good point here. He could at least pretend, go to the sink, run some water, like George does.
That's pretty revealing. That we learn that George just runs his hand under the water for appearances, And that kind of tracks in the series because if we remember to the episode The Voice, we learned that George uses Jerry's water at Monk's to wash his hands.
That's
Remember
right.
that?
Yeah.
Sickies.
I love this line.
I do too. Well, I think Poppy's got some problems. There's a whole other thing going on with Poppy. And the way Jason, he kind of like waves his hands and then he points outward with his 2 index fingers. Why does he do that? Matt's laughing uncontrollably. Matt's laughing uncontrollably. Controllably.
Well, you just sold it. I forgot about the finger pointing. He's very very cocky in this scene for some reason. You know, for a guy eating a bowl of cereal. I don't know. Yeah. It's just bizarre. Now, when you obsess over Seinfeld as much as we have, it's really hard for things to kind of surprise us.
You?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that sounds pretty arrogant, but
for something to like pop out that you've never seen before, such as you not knowing that Poppy is Audrey's father.
Okay, spoke too soon. At least behind the scenes trivia, something that Tom and Max brought up during the commentary on the DVD, which is just fantastic. George has this line here, "So how'd you leave it?" And Jerry says, "We haven't spoken." Apparently that line, "So how'd you leave it?" that was something Larry David would always say whenever they're talking about stories. So when they came back from break, from a commercial, he would then ask, "Oh, so how'd you leave it?" That was sort of a way to get back into the story from a commercial break, a way to ask, all right, so what has happened during the break? Where did we leave our heroes? I just like that term. How'd you leave it?
Yeah, and it's a nice kind of tribute to Larry David, the captain steering the ship.
Well, Kramer enters to return the spatula since he's got Olive now, and that's a great moment. Jerry just tosses it into the garbage.
Yeah.
Kramer goes on and on about Olive's back scratching skills. She's like a maestro. Hey, maestro.
She calls her maestro. There's a lady maestro.
Well, what different moves does she have here?
The crisscross, the figure eight, strumming the old banjo, and a wild, savage free-for-all where anything can happen.
So George gets ready to head over to Renitzi since they open soon, and kind of a creepy moment, especially because they're all friends. Hey, Kramer, the last time I saw the Elaine mannequin, she was naked.
Yeah, and Poppy's got problems.
Does that seem a little weird? I mean, we're not ones to judge, but...
Are we? Yes, we are.
Okay.
I was creeped out the way George was kind of like oogling this Elaine mannequin.
She's your Elaine.
I didn't want to go there. But we already saw on the tape that George did develop feelings for Elaine, lustful feelings, after she left that message on Jerry's tape recorder. So they have a little bit of a history here. But the fact that he's like sexualizing it and bragging to Kramer about it, it makes sense for George to be the one to bring this up.
There is a precedent, of course, with the tape, but it's a little complicated because last week in the dinner party, he tells Kramer, I'm kind of afraid of her.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of factors into George's attraction towards women. Either being afraid or not respected. I don't know. I feel like that kind of heightens his...
She just dislikes me so much.
Yes.
It's irresistible.
So we're over at Renitzi, and then another fantastic scene. Natasha opens the door, and Bob sprints to the suit rack while George just kind of strolls casually over to a different section.
Where is it? Where is it? Well, look at this. This doesn't belong here. Someone has made a terrible mistake. You bastard. You hid the suit. Hid? I have no idea how this suit got misplaced. Nevertheless, I do believe I shall purchase it.
I hope you rot in that suit. Look, I'm gonna get you for this. I don't know how, but I am gonna get you. You are gonna pay.
Oh, I'll pay. Half price. Arrivederci, my fellow 40 short.
That is pretty freaking clever of George to... Well, he was guarding the suit all week. He knew the lay of the land, and he goes and puts it on another rack, obscured from any other potential customers. Yeah. Unfortunately, things will not be working out for our heroes this week. But right now, cocky George can enjoy his moment in the sun.
Yeah, and I like this. I like you brought this up on an earlier episode. You like it when George wins?
Yeah, it happens either seldomly or just it's fleeting. But when George is confident and riding the wave, I really enjoy that George Costanza.
Right. And there's something about Bob. He's not a very likable character, so I don't feel bad for him when George wins in this situation.
Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of cheering George on. And that last line, it's so cocky, but so satisfying when Bob says, you know, I don't know how, but I'm going to get you. You are going to pay.
Oh, I'll pay. Half price. Arrivederci, my fellow 40 short. And he does this like little tip of the cap to him, as well as he kind of twists and skips off.
Oh.
You know, it's hard to describe in a audio medium here, but visually, it's cocky.
Yeah, it's brilliant, though. Just I like how clever George is in this moment, you know?
We're back at Monk's now, and Elaine is telling Jerry that she's come up with a list of possible suspects for who could have made the mannequin.
All right, go ahead.
Well, there was this blind guy at a party I was at, and he felt my face for a really long time, you know, to see what I look like. He almost put his finger up my nose.
All right, what else you got?
Okay, I'm not going to tell you the rest of the list.
Oh, because I didn't think the blind guy did it?
Because you have an attitude.
I love that.
There was some deleted dialogue, Matt, where Elaine put in another suspect. She thought a potential dentist took an impression of her teeth and was able to come up with the mannequin in this way. And Jerry replies, Elaine, he's got a job as a dentist. I don't really see him moonlighting with mannequins.
Wait, so how would the teeth lead to a mannequin?
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question, Aguado. I don't know.
Way out there.
Yeah.
You know that little back and forth we did there? Jerry sells it a lot better when Elaine's like, all right, I have a list of people. Jerry just seems so annoyed. Like,
he's already spent and has no desire to...
He's so exhausted from the whole, you know, pie investigation. It's tiring, you know? Well, George arrives in his new suit. And how would you describe this scene, or this thing? We kind of hinted at it earlier. It's dark brown.
Yep. It's a 3-piece. He's got a vest on underneath.
It's a bizarre suit, right?
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. It's perfect for this kind of scene because he looks good. You know, George looks good in a suit, but there's just enough design to it where you can understand why it's half price. You know, like...
Yeah. Well, that's also the 90s.
Yeah, that's true. There's also another issue.
Did you hear something?
Yeah, like a swoosh.
Yeah.
It must be the fabric. It's rubbing between your thighs when you walk. That's what's making that swooshy sound.
I probably didn't hear it on the way over because of the street noise. This is no good. I gotta meet these guys from Mackenzie for lunch in half an hour.
So what? What would they care?
This Mackenzie guy, he's a bit of a nut. Someone told me he fired the last guy because his nose whistled when he breathed.
So you think you're not going to get the job because your pants make a noise?
Let's say it comes down to me and one other guy. He's got a nice quiet suit and I'm whooshing all over the place. What do you think he's gonna hire?
You know, I think all these interviews are making you nuts.
Hey, Jerry, I saw your girlfriend was in here before.
Audrey?
Yep, sat down, had herself a piece of pie.
What? Was it apple?
What else?
This woman is bending my mind into a pretzel.
Do I know you?
No, you don't.
Yeah. You were wearing a G-string and one of those bras with points.
The mannequin.
Oh, I gotta see this thing.
That moment when George finally realizes what's going on and he does that very quick back and forth. This is no good. You can see Julia lose it, and she does that move where she grasps her hand really tight to prevent herself from laughing.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Oh, boy. Well, one of our favorite lines also is included in that clip.
You're wearing a G-string, one of those bras with points.
Yeah, we love that one.
That actor is Bernard Hockey, and we talked about earlier using descriptor terms to describe a character versus giving them an actual name. This guy is known as Sleazy Guy.
Oh, Dumpy Guy?
He was in... Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's kind of like the Seven Dwarfs, right? Dumpy, Sleazy.
Sleazy. Yeah. Bernard Hockey was in Get Shorty, Sphere, The Negotiator, Legend of Bagger Vance, Glory Road, and Green Lantern. And recently, Matt, he was in The Big Short.
Oh, did you see that yet?
Did not.
Oh.
I saw Star Wars 3 times instead. Now, I got to say, remember we always talk about what would be your dream role to play, or, if you were going to be in the background. I feel like this would be the character that I would want to play for 2 reasons. You get to deliver this killer line, that people, I think, remember and can quote.
What was that line again?
You're wearing a G-string and one of those bras with points. But he does the whole, he puts his hands down to his crotch and motions to what a G-string would look like, as well as the points. And he gets to deliver this line to Elaine. Mm-hmm. And I think that would just be the ultimate. But this guy knocks it out of the park that I feel like no one else could deliver it the way he does. That's
a lot of pressure, too. I don't think most people think of these not extras, but these, like minor characters that only have a line or two. There's a lot of pressure. Yeah, like a lot of pressure because it's this whole scene. And now I have to just come in at the end, deliver this one or two lines. And
all right, I want to get this in one take because we got lunch coming up. And go, another thing I like is that, he says, "Do I know you?" And Elaine's response is like messing with him.
Yeah. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Well, she's almost creeped out by him, I think.
Right. The preemptive shutdown if he is going to, in fact, ask her out or something.
Of course. So we head over to Ranitzi. Jerry and Elaine arrive, and she's shocked. I'm a little shocked, too. Not because I'm a prude or anything, but the mannequin is in lingerie, and she's bent over another mannequin about to spank her. And I'm not like, oh, that offends me. Not at all. But why would this store have that on display? It doesn't go with the rest of the store. It's not like this quirky, weird humor Soho department store. This just looks like an ordinary place in Midtown.
Yeah, nor is it an adult, like, XXX store. I would imagine you'd see stuff like that in there, right? No?
Yeah.
Yes, no? Yes?
Yeah, not even that. Like, I've been into a few, like, sex stores, and I've never seen mannequins on display like that.
Oh, there's one in Old Town that has that. There's mannequins in the window with lingerie on. That's why I thought of it.
But
they're not bent over getting spanked.
That's what I'm talking about. It's not the lingerie. It's like this is such a that gesture of like spanking the other mannequin that just seems so out there for this kind of department store.
The only other thing I thought why they positioned her in that way is because we're going to see that Elaine is going to steal this mannequin. They have to get it in the car and have to have it sitting upright.
Oh.
So that's why the legs are bent.
There you go.
For the sake of logistics, that occurred to me, but I know that's not the reason why they had her bent over.
Sure, but Jerry thinks the resemblance is uncanny, of course. And
you would know?
Yeah. Oh, hey, good point.
How could I forget?
Elaine wants Natasha to take the mannequin down since it's her ass in the window, but Natasha argues, hey, it's their store. They can pose it however they want. And I love the panic here on Elaine's part. She's just so flustered. She doesn't know what to do. She has no power here, but she just kind of throws it to Jerry and is like, hey, this is my lawyer. And there's this kind of like understanding between the two friends.
Yeah, I got your back in this moment.
Yeah.
You turn to me, and now I'm going to help this ruse we're trying to create, together.
Jerry doesn't do that good of a job at it, but yeah, the fact that
I believe there's some legal precedent here. Witchell versus Mahoney, the Charlie MacArthur hearings. Mm-hmm.
But that's a good friend, where it's this unspoken understanding.
Yeah, but the funny thing about Seinfeld is sometimes it is there, and you want to help out your friend, and then the other times it's, hey, this guy's coming up. Would you mind hanging out? Yeah, sure. I was just leaving.
Yeah.
There's other times where you leave your friend high and dry. I guess you gotta pick your battles.
That's true. Well, anyways, Natasha goes to get the manager while Elaine decides to steal the mannequin, as you pointed out, and they're in Jerry's car. Elaine is in the passenger seat with the mannequin between her and Jerry.
I don't know about you, but I have a hankering for some double mint gum.
Oh.
I love that line. I use it out in the wild at times. Nobody laughs, but it makes me feel good.
Is it when you see two people dressed alike, or?
Yeah, that could be one. Anytime there's two of something, I'll because you remember the commercials, right?
Sure. So Jerry is going to drop Elaine off at work, and the mannequin will stay in his car while he goes to Poppie's. And we cut over to this restaurant for the third time in season 5. We saw it first in the Mango. This is when Jerry and Elaine are eating, and Jerry's really flustered because he found out that Elaine never had an orgasm. And we see it again in the puffy shirt when George goes out to eat with his parents, and he runs into that woman from the hand modeling specialty models studio. And this time, George is meeting with Mackenzie and some of the cronies for his second job interview. And while they're heading to the table, you kind of hear like a whooshing sound.
Yeah, like a soft rustling.
Yeah, that's the leaves. This is such a silly scene, only because it's so over the top that this guy would be so temperamental.
Well, I heard he fired the last guy because his nose whistled when he breathed.
That's right. It's funny, too, that the guy playing Mackenzie, or what's his name, Mr. Fleming?
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Fleming. Harry Fleming?
Yeah, that's right.
Morty's Raincoats. He uses this line, it's much quieter here to have this interview as opposed to the office where everyone is whooshing around.
Yeah, that's a little much.
It's like right on the nose.
Who's ever used whooshing in a sentence? Yeah, like a soft rustling. Could be the leaves. The fear and anxiety on George's face at that moment it's really believable.
Yeah.
Because Jason is so tight and clenched, and he's like even bringing his neck in. I really like that moment. But Lane Davies plays Mackenzie, or Mr. Fleming, as you would like to call him. He was in 871 episodes of Santa Barbara.
871?
871. He was also in several episodes of Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman. He was in The Practice, a couple episodes of Scrubs. He was in 120 episodes of General Hospital, as well as a show for the last couple years called The Bay. And his character's name was Detective Mackenzie Johnson.
Hey, look at that. Let's go over to Poppy's. This is when Jerry arrives to confront Audrey.
Hello.
What are you doing here?
So how was the pie?
What pie?
The apple pie you had today at Monk's.
I'm very busy here.
Pretty good, wasn't it? I told you should have tasted it.
You better not let Poppy see you here.
All right, I'm looking for someone named Poppy.
Who are you?
Board of Health, we've had several complaints.
Oh, about the,
You Poppy?
I'm a puppy.
Think you better come with me.
What's the problem?
What do they want from Poppy?
well, Poppy's a little slumpy.
Let's talk about this health inspector. First of all, is this like Bookman's younger brother?
I got a total Bookman vibe from him.
Trench coat, the grimace. Grimace, is that the right word? That's not the right word.
Nothing can defeat the grimace.
This health inspector walks in, and the line is, "All right, I'm looking for someone named Poppy." He doesn't even look at any other characters in the eye. He's looking up at the ceiling, and I even saw an alternate take. He did the same thing. He's looking elsewhere. Is that weird?
It's a little weird, but it works with the character. He's just on a totally different, he should be on a
Bookman.
It's almost like he's like in a totally different world, than the rest of these characters. As you pointed out, like Bookman.
Very Bookman-esque. But that I keep watching that scene. I'm like, where is he looking? But he is an intimidating force. That is Paul Manti. He plays the health inspector. He actually passed away in 2013, but he was in Robinson Crusoe on Mars. He was in Apollo 13. He was a regular on the TV show Cagney and Lacey, and he was in Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, which I remember.
Okay, not bad. I never thought about this until... So similar to the whole, Poppy is Audrey's father. I just realized this too. Was Jerry the one who called the health inspector?
I believe so.
All right. I never realized that either. I thought it was just a coincidence.
Yeah, I think that's why Poppy... It's funny, when we go to the couch episode, Kramer, discusses the premise of him and Poppy getting together to, make their own pies. Mm-hmm. And Jerry says, didn't he get busted by the Board of Health?
Oh.
That's the line Jerry says in that episode.
It sounds like he's playing dumb if he was the one to...
He had to be the one, unless other people caught on to him. But
that last line is what made it click when he's like, Poppy's a little sloppy. Almost like, well, your dad's a little sloppy, and he's getting busted for it finally. Like,
yeah,
this was all part of the plan.
Speaking of Poppy is sloppy, originally they chose the name Poppy because they wanted to use this line at the end of the episode. Poppy's hands are poopy.
Do you prefer that over Poppy's a little sloppy?
No, I love Poppy's sloppy.
Yeah.
It rhymes much better.
That's a lot more fun to say. So next scene, we're back at that restaurant. And funny, George is actually having a big laugh with the Mackenzie group about the suit whooshing. Turns out he was afraid for nothing, right? There was nothing to worry about. They don't care at all. The only thing they're serious about is, being a team. They don't tolerate dissent.
No problem there. Conformity is an obsession with me.
And a waiter drops off a slice of complimentary chocolate cream pie for the group. Turns out that the chef made it special for George.
Oh.
And one of just the weirdest shots, right? When George turns around.
He sees a man, we'll call him Bob, dumpy guy. He's wearing a chef's hat and he's peering behind some plants. And obviously, Bob, the chef, has tampered with the chocolate cream pie, as it were, and he's trying to see if George is going to eat it.
And George, realizes the pie's been tampered with, and when he's offered a bite, just shakes his head. I've seen that throughout the episode.
If you're one of us, you'll take a bite.
The guy's delivery is pretty intense.
That line, I remember in an interview recently, somebody asked Jerry, are there any lines from the show that are your favorites or that you still use today? And he said, I remember him specifically saying this one. Oh. If you're one of us, you'll take a bite. He uses that when he was trying to get his kids to eat their breakfast or eat their dinner. And that always tickled him.
Oh, I love that.
But I have two actors to go over. The first one is the waiter, chocolate cream pie, compliments of the house. That's Eamon Roche. He plays the waiter. And I always remember him as Stanley Ipkiss's boss from The Mask. He plays Mr. Dickey, who's a real jerk. And he was also in Meet Wally Sparks. He was in an episode of Deadwood, 3 episodes of Scrubs, and he was also on Young and the Restless.
Nice.
Then we have Tony Edwards, who plays the businessman, the one of us take a bite guy. Mm-hmm. He was in White Shadow, as well as Hot Shots Part 2, Starman, and Star Trek 4.
We were just talking about Hot Shots.
That's crazy.
Earlier, that's funny. Another just, random actor who just knocks the line out of the park. So we're back at Monk's here to wrap up the episode. George is telling Jerry, well, I didn't get the job, but I was the only one who didn't get violently ill. So I think that's definitely worth it, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're in George's situation, you're living with your parents, you've been unemployed for well over a year at this point.
Yeah. Got no job, no woman, no reason to get up out of bed.
No door? Kramer, meanwhile, he's a little nervous. He needs to talk to Olive. Turns out he lost his itch 2 days ago. And I love this. He's been faking it.
We already knew he was a faker.
Yeah.
I faked it.
He doesn't want to hurt Olive's feelings, though. That's why he's been, why he's been faking it for so long. And
so is there nothing else in their relationship other than this itch? Like, don't they have a conversation? Can't their relationship continue despite him not having an itch that she needs to scratch? It's kind of sad.
Yeah, he's been using her for the nails.
A relationship based on itching.
You don't really know what's wrong with Olive, I guess, other than Kramer's just not attracted to her.
Hi, Olive. No more of that. Something I have to tell you.
What?
Well, there's someone else.
Someone else?
Yeah.
Who is she?
Her. Yeah, there she is. That's my gal.
You're a liar. I've seen her in here before. She's not your girlfriend.
Now, Olive, look, I'm sorry.
Well, why is she wearing her underwear?
Well, it's a style. Yeah. Jerry, give me the keys. You? Okay, well, I guess we're going to go for a drive now. She really loves that.
And then, of course, Kramer goes out to the car. There's the Elaine mannequin, and he starts, making out with her?
Oh, he's going to town on that thing.
What's great about it, too, is it's so obviously a mannequin, but Olive is watching from inside Monk's, just, really upset, heartbroken.
Oh, yeah. Poor Olive.
And that last shot is like Kramer accidentally rips the arm off and the hand falls off and he's like startled by the stump.
Yeah, it's freeze frame.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
In fact, there's some great bloopers from Michael, kind of improvising with with the mannequin. It's great. Like both arms get ripped off. He's like moving her around. Oh, I don't think you should drive.
Yeah, and he's still kissing, and a lot of and I guess I do look a little bit like Robert Mitchum.
Yeah, some good stuff. We'll include a link in our show notes if you guys haven't seen the blooper reel yet. Funny enough, this scene of Michael in the car with the dummy was shot at 2 a.m. This is like well after the rest of the cast left, and most of the crew left. So I wonder if he was feeling just a little loopy during this scene.
Poopy's a little loopy.
Yes. So we don't get any stand-up during the credits here. Instead, we get a post-credit scene, kind of like the Marine Biologist. Jerry never solved the riddle of the pie, but he seems very content that they're putting Poppie away for a long, long time. Seems kind of odd that he's so happy about it, right?
Well, I have to say, it was pretty much all my fault. Yeah, he basks in the misfortune of others at times. Jerry does.
Very bizarre. Elaine storms in, which surprises Olive.
Hey, you were just here in your underwear making out with Kramer. What's going on?
She's telling the guys, hey, a friend of mine in Chicago was out shopping, and she saw a mannequin that looked just like her. Where the hell are these mannequins coming from? So we cut over to what looks like Midtown Manhattan, in a small, messy workplace with a manager and his employee.
Ricky, we've been getting a tremendous response to your TR6 mannequin.
TR6? I prefer to think of her as Elaine.
Ah, the return of Ricky.
Hello.
You look scrumptious. The return of Sam Lloyd as Ricky. And we learn his profession. He is a mannequin designer.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
He designs mannequins.
And his boss is played by Robert Kino. He was in The Ugly Dachshund, The Snow Creature, Night of the Creeps, Ghost Warrior. Isn't there a scene where Isn't there a scene where George Shapiro...
I didn't catch that at first. That's good.
Isn't there a deleted scene, Matt, where George Shapiro, Jerry's manager, does this line?
There is, and I have an audio clip of it here. I think everyone knows or most people know what George Shapiro looks like. He's like that little guy. He's in a lot of behind-the-scenes footage or interviews, and a legendary manager for comedians throughout the 70s and 80s.
Manager.
And yeah, he plays the manager in this scene, and his acting is awful.
Oh,
it's so bad.
Speak like that of George.
Well, I think... Okay, so if it's so good, why did they cut it?
I'm joking. Go ahead.
Okay.
Terrible part.
I'll play the clip here, but he does sort of struggle getting the line right at first, and it's funny. You hear Larry giving him, some advice from off camera.
And action. Ricky, we've been getting a tremendous reaction to your TR6 mannequin.
TR6?
Wait a minute. Let's respond. Nobody can do this. Okay, here we go. All right.
Response.
What?
Ricky, we've been getting a tremendous response to your TR6 mannequin.
And
George, you're not in your light. There you go. Thanks.
there you go. And action. Ricky, we've been getting a tremendous response to your TR6 mannequin.
TR6? I prefer to think of her as Elaine.
That was a good one.
Okay, so
why is he grinning ear to ear at him?
So it's kind of hard to sell in the audio format here, but in the video or the clip, when it cuts to Sam Lloyd and it cuts back to George Shapiro is just smiling at him for some reason.
He looks like a serial killer.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, it's funny.
So for obvious reasons, not only did George Shapiro flub his line, but he's just not the best actor. But yeah, that just about does it, I guess, for this week's episode. Mm-hmm. Now, before we move on to ratings and reviews, figured we could go over some of the listener theories as to why Audrey doesn't try any of Jerry's pie at Monk's. Let's go to Facebook first. We got a lot of responses here. I don't think we're going to get to all of them, unfortunately, but maybe we could pick a few here and give them some attention. It seems like the idea of Audrey being a germaphobe comes up a lot. Nehemiah Savage has that theory. Who else has that theory here?
A. Rose McCoy said germaphobe, as well as James Hammondtree and Laura Gross.
Also, Kristen Burns brought that up. The fact that Jerry took a bite, used the fork, hey, try some. It's essentially a double dip.
I like this one. Aaron Fitzsimmons and Kristen Fredrickson said that she knew Paco. I know who's working today. Paco.
That's fantastic. I like that a lot. 2 ideas so far. She's a germaphobe, and she doesn't, want Jerry's germs. We don't even know if they've kissed yet, so maybe that will, become an issue for her.
So my argument here is, if we recall to the episode The Wife, Elaine talks about when you're interested in someone, them craving your germs. If Audrey was really interested in Jerry, she would want his germs. She would just crave his germs, right?
Yeah. Good
so
point.
How interested can she be in Jerry if Jerry is the key variable in her not tasting the pie? She had the pie at Poppie's. She had the pie by herself at Monk's. She didn't have the pie when Jerry offered it to her. Mm-hmm. If she was really interested in Jerry, she wouldn't have minded his germs being on that fork.
Of course not. Yeah, so maybe she's just not into him at this point.
Yeah. What? How could anyone not like him? A. Rose McCoy also wrote, she had a couple theories. She said there could be a hair on it. She even pulls a little Friends reference here. Like Joey, Audrey doesn't share food. So that could be it. She doesn't want,
I don't understand that reference.
Yeah, you're not a Friends watcher. Friends people will get it. Jerry's using a fork that fell on the floor. She's nuts. Or the vindictive chef later in the episode made the pie.
Yeah, A. Rose McCoy posted a photo of Bob just peeking around the corner.
The peeking out one, yeah. CJ Hernandez says that she saw the chef use the toilet at Monk's.
I like this John Campbell one. Maybe as a child she was pied, perhaps by a clown.
Yeah, that's a deep pull.
Yeah. Oh, Jason Duncan brings up maybe she caught Jerry in a pick earlier that evening.
I wouldn't want to have his pie either if he's doing that at the table.
So tied into the germs there.
Steve Martin says because she is psycho, which I didn't pick up on initially, but that is a reference to a line of dialogue by that English woman in the episode. I'm not a psycho.
But she's a psycho.
Kudos to you, Steve, because you got me on that one. Savor the flavor, pal.
Let's jump over to Twitter. Buster1920 says, my theory on why Audrey did not eat the pie is that Jerry had bad table manners after eating with George for so long. I like that. That's very creative, though, at least.
Yeah.
Andre in Ottawa said her father was killed in a tragic pie incident. Now, there's someone that did not realize that Poppie is Audrey's father.
Oh, yeah. It's your long-lost brother.
Johnny Gillian says she doesn't like her boyfriend to feed her. Others can, but not her boyfriend.
Not her boyfriend.
Yeah.
I like it.
Another germaphobe from Curb Prophet. Another one from Dr. Bimbu. She saw the waitress in the bathroom and didn't wash up. Later eats a pie from a different waitress.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that actually it's similar to the chef not washing their hands, but to explain why, she didn't eat that particular pie. Sorry, guys, there's just so many here. I don't think we're going to get to all of them. Let's jump over to Instagram real quick. Another Paco reference from Bony Knees, which seems to be the most popular one, but again, doesn't explain why she would go back to eat the pie. Maybe Paco wasn't working that day.
Mm-hmm. Jake Costanza, 13, says maybe she got food poisoning from her meal. She didn't want to say anything, which also kind of mimics Nehemiah Savage's comment on Facebook. She was bloated after a full dinner and concerned of engaging in amorous activity later that evening, which kind of reminds me of George.
Intestinal.
Intestinal
requirement?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Some unstoppable force. Right. So it could have been something with a GI malady.
Honestly, if I were having serious stomach problems, that's probably how I would react, just shaking my head.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're just so sick. Let's jump over to Reddit for a second here, which is great. There are a lot of listeners on the Seinfeld subreddit. Some of them chimed in here. Lazy SOB wrote, I always assumed she saw something nasty like Jerry did later in the episode. She worked in a high-end restaurant, and after all, this is at Monk's. Another Paco theory. Beauville wrote, I always guessed it was because Jerry started eating first, and she was grossed out by the thought of sharing the same piece of food. Personal boundaries. So what do you think, Vinny, though? What is your theory after reading all of those on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram?
Well, there's one theory that we hadn't touched on yet, and it came from a couple listeners, Colin Mack as well as Beauville. And this is what I kind of alluded to earlier. They said because she's a Nazi. Now, stay with me here.
Okay.
I don't know if you're ready. When Jerry asks her, I need to know, and she goes, can we drop this? I believe she was brainwashed into being a Nazi bodyguard for O'Brien, and over the years, she's been deprogrammed. Now she's being reintegrated back into society. But she's starting to realize who this character is sitting across from her. She remembers Jerry's face from that night in the limo. And it's too much for her to handle that she just can't eat.
So she's basically sitting across from this guy. Not only does she recognize him, but she's like, wait, this guy's Jewish, right?
Because she's anti-Semitic.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I bet that girl's an anti-Semite. And it kind of ties into why she's so close with Poppie. You know, it's almost like she's dependent on him, you know, since she's being reintegrated back into society.
Right.
Does that tie in at all with
and
Poppie?
her mother, Audrey's grandmother,
was killed by the communists.
She was served some bad fish and died on the high seas.
Oh my God. Okay, maybe there's something there. Forget the Nazi thing for a second then.
No, that's there too.
Okay, well, let's put a pin in that and go to her grandmother died of some bad fish on the high seas.
Yeah.
There might be something there. Maybe there's some fear within the family of eating food. No, it still doesn't explain why she goes back to Monk's later and eats the pie. The fact is, Audrey eats at Monk's. She eats apple pie at Monk's. She just doesn't eat apple pie at Monk's when it's offered by Jerry Seinfeld. It's a personal thing. Audrey is a recovering Nazi sympathizer who was brainwashed by O'Brien. She's now in recovery mode. She's under the care of her father, Poppie. She's working at his restaurant. She's very close to him. While she's sitting across from Jerry at Monk's, she's getting flare-ups or
like traumatic flashbacks to her previous life.
Yes, as an anti-Semite Nazi sympathizer. And it's because she's being offered pie by someone she's met before in O'Brien's limo, but also the fact that he's like a Jewish comedian. You know, those are kind of like triggers for her.
Yeah. Trigger. She also realizes it when Jerry questions her about it. You know, I need to know. And she goes, can we drop this? And I think because she's on to something as to why did I not want to taste the pie? She doesn't want to discuss it.
And maybe she doesn't know herself, or she's too afraid to fall back into her Nazi ways because it's been repressed, you know.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I think we're going to stick with that. The most illogical answer to why Audrey doesn't try any of Jerry's pie.
You got that straight.
Well, thank you to everyone on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit who responded to our query. Sorry if we didn't get to yours. There was just a lot to get through this week, and we're running a little late as it is. Speaking of which, should we move on to ratings and reviews?
Yes.
So, what do you think?
You know, I feel like Tom Gamble and Max Sprouse are really getting better as Seinfeld writers here. But I just have to say, I enjoyed the Cigar Store Indian more than this episode.
Yeah.
This is still a great one. Just killer one-liners and some wonderful scenes with George at Renitzi's. And they're doing an amazing job, more than ever, of dovetailing these storylines together. All of them overlap with each other at some point.
Yeah, and I really enjoy each character's separate storyline. I love Elaine with the mannequin, as well as the confrontations she has with Natasha. I love George being so neurotic and so nuts from his interviews that the rustling of a suit drives him crazy, as well as his confrontation with Bob, the dumpy guy. Kramer, I love Olive. I think she's a great little addition this week. I'm sorry they didn't those kids didn't make it. And Jerry, we got Audrey to return as we got the actress to return her double dip, as well as we had two double dippers in this episode. And I think the best part about this week's episode is the guest appearance of Rennie Santoni as Poppie, one of the most memorable Seinfeld characters of all time. Only been in 4 episodes, but everybody knows him. And
probably his least memorable performance of the main 3 he's in. You know, with the couch and with Kramer in the like, it's not a pizza until it comes out of the oven. You know?
I think he's famous for his thoughts on how to make a pizza and/or abortion, as well as his gastrointestinal issues.
Yeah,
and I do like the writing of Gamble and Pross and their inclusion of anecdotal stories and things like that into their scripts.
You know, 2 things they're doing more than other writers is their episodes have a lot of scenes. I feel like there was a new scene every minute in this episode. Hence why I think we went a little long this week, or longer than usual. And they're also bringing wackier elements to Seinfeld.
Yes.
You know, way more than Larry David or Larry Charles or Peter Mellman would ever do.
Not zany yet, but still they're pushing the envelope.
Having this mystery element, that to me is just perfect Seinfeld, especially with a girlfriend. It's like, is she always wearing the same dress? You know what I mean? Like that sort of idea. And there's never resolution to it, which I've complained about in other episodes, like the Marine Biologist. Remember with the organizer and wanting money from Testikov?
Yeah.
That to me was sort of like a weak part of that episode because it was never resolved. Because that's like purely plot. I mean, with this episode, the pie mystery is the joke itself.
Right. And not knowing is what makes it fun.
And that is satisfying to me. Absolutely. Yeah. Never knowing what it is. So it works in this situation, I think, not to answer why she doesn't eat the pie. Anything you didn't like about this week's episode?
My gripes are always stupid, but my big one was
the fly.
Poppie coming out of the bathroom and not actually. He did the motion to zip up his fly, but he didn't actually do it. But I enjoyed this episode through and through.
Well, this is another episode for me, at least, where it just shows what a terrible critic I am, because while I enjoyed the episode and I think it's really quotable and I love everyone's individual storylines, I love the dovetailing, it's not one of my favorite episodes of Seinfeld. And I just can't explain why. It's just one of those things where I'm not racing to watch this episode.
Yeah.
So it's not going to crack my top 20. Would it land in your 20 somewhere?
No, my number 20 is Puffy Shirt, and I don't see that being knocked off the podium anytime soon. So this does not crack as well. Having said that, though, I think this is a solid episode, and I'm going to give it 9 TR6s out of 10, and a gold.
I'm going to give this, I want to give it somewhere between an 8.5 and a 9, like an 8.75 if I can. Mannequins wearing G-strings and those bras with points out of 10. And it's a pretty good episode for sure.
All right, that's going to do it for us here on Seincast this week. Please feel free to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and send us an email at seincast@gmail.com, won't you?
Yeah, any thoughts, questions, theories, things you want us to bring up for next week's episode, send us an email, and we'll do our best to bring it up during our discussion. Speaking of which, Vinny, what episode are we discussing next week?
Next week, we're discussing the 16th episode of Season 5, The Stand-In, and we'll also be discussing how Elaine's date with Phil Totola went.
Oh, how did it go?
He took it out.
But for now, I'm Matt.
I'm Vinny.
Signing off. Seincast is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders.
I think Poppy's got some problems. There's a whole other thing going on with Poppy.